Hi, I'm Danny Sloan. I want to talk to you about my busking setup, which has been generously supported by the Neil Squire Foundation, Ed Bell at Bell Tech, and Dave Joseph at CS Mounting Systems, as well as many other little innovations that I've done over time. My goal here is really to thank these people for their work and their skill, as well as to hopefully show another individual who is wheelchair bound that it is possible to get a lot of music gear around in your power chair independently, and it doesn't. Your setup does not have to be like mine. I have a fairly full setup, as you'll see. So I'm gonna just go through my rig and show you what I do. This is an electric guitar setup. Sometimes I have another one for acoustic. Sometimes I'll bring both guitars. But this is just, this is my setup for that. So first of all, maybe have a good look at the side view. You can see I'm the length of the chair has increased a fair bit. But however, the buses and the compartments today on the buses allow for this length to work. So you'll notice that there are two bars built on these mount points down here. These are the strongest points on the mount points because they're the points that the tie downs are. And these receivers were built by Ed Bell, funded by Neil Squire, and so is this bar. There's both a front bar and a back bar, and it's held in by pins. And these allow the weight to be distributed on the front off the tilt, and saving your tilt mechanism, because some people have tilt in their chair like me, and they have an actuator which can break if there's a lot of weight on it, which I found out the hard way. I didn't actually break my actuator. I broke a stem on my last power chair. The back one doesn't save the tilt. It's just simply a system to hold the guitar. So I just use a bungee cord to hold the guitar upright, just keep it from flailing around. And then I have a lasso lock, which I discovered at Mountain Equipment Co-op through the help of a rental. The rental department, a guy there showed me this. One side fastens to the chair on a lasso lock, and the other side to the handle on the guitar. And this allows the guitar to be permanently fastened to me, even when I'm disassembling the whole setup. It's never not locked, and I just don't, being vulnerable, want anybody to snatch my guitar and take off. It's a precious item I put a lot of time into, and I just don't want to lose it. So I guess I'll just start by turning here and disassembling for you and talking to you a little bit more. Things will come to mind. This is not scripted, minus what I thought prior. So the first thing in my setup is this foldable little thing found at Bed Bath & Beyond. It's just a simple plastic step stool, and this is two purposes that they're good for. One is elevating anything you want off the ground to reach, but I've used it for coffee, but for me in particular, it's for my amplifier. Just bringing the controls up just high enough to where I can reach the controls and adjust things as I need. This is just a regular bike lock, which I've mounted this bag to here, and this bag just contains things that I could use on my trip. When I want to bring out some gloves, it's an all-weather. Think of it like a mini camping trip. Each time you go out, you got to be prepared for the elements, and you got to have things at your disposal. If I want to get my water out, kabang, it's right here. There's food, which is more for later. And I often actually file that stool in this compartment here, but today I have some music posters. So, because we have a gig coming up, and I want to get those posters out. So, I unhook this also have a reacher. This is a critical item. You drop things, and in a power chair at this height with a little bit of tilt, reaching the ground is a bit of a challenge. So having a reacher on you is great. Carabiner so I can hook it to things. So first thing, I don't have my system exactly done. It's changed so many times that I'm not really in the habit of doing one thing, but I'll just give you a rough approximation. I'll lay that back down to start. I have to do some switching, but the amp goes down. So not only does that bike lock serve a purpose of hooking the bag to me and not falling off me, but I then hook it to this bar and lock it to the chair. And that is again for another purpose, simple purpose of security. Let people know I'm serious about protecting my gear and hopefully evading the threat of a random runner grabbing it. That piece of foam, it's cut out for the old belly, which I'm losing. But the foam itself here serves a purpose of just protecting my lap when my amp is on it. There are little grommets underneath here, or I don't know what you call them, little legs. They can dig into your legs on the underside. I don't want them digging into me. I want to also let you know that I had myself pressure mapped, meaning I had a map laid out, I don't know, a sensor map that I sat on, and I put that amp on it to make sure that the pressure points weren't being stressed, because this is a long time. I'll sometimes have this on my lap. So there's no pressure on my ischials, my coccyx. It's all safe. So yeah, and this also, you'll see, will serve another purpose later. This bag here is a climbing bag from Mountain Equipment Co-op. It is brilliant for the purpose that I need it for, and that is that hopefully it stays upright to demonstrate. So I can pick it up. You'll see it can stay upright, and it's top loading. So for a person like me, great. I can reach inside of it and extract everything I need. So in this case, and in my system, I'll slide that down. The top bag is called a guitar tick. It's part of the mono bag system, which is a bag I also use occasionally. This actual strap onto a guitar bag on the outside as an extra kit. So this is my my kit for a lot of the small items I got to pick through, and I place it right there. So if I break strings, I can grab my strings. If I need to change batteries, I can change batteries, and I also have some of the smaller parts and components ready. Front compartment, I will take out my cabling. There's a bunch of bungees in here. I just bought a bunch of bungees at Lordco because my joystick controller fell apart yesterday. So I had to buy some machine bolts, and I got a whole bunch of extra bungees. So, cabling. So now we get into the first thing, the old sign. Very important as a busker. Let people know in clear lettering who you are, where they can find you. I don't want to stop constantly giving out business cards. I just want people to be able to take a picture of the sign. I'm going to get business cards too, because people do ask. But this works well. It's got a little Velcro strip on it, so it sticks to the bottom of the amp. This is simply a music stand with a modified back on it. The existing back's there. This is part of the CS mount system, which Dave Joseph has provided. Ed mounted that for me. And this is his beautiful, highly professional equipment. This stuff is it's fancy. It's meant for speech-assistive technology and fancy computers for people that need it for communication, and it is adjustable in a number of positions. It can spin this way, it can turn this way, and it can also spin on the stem. So you've got an orbital sort of system there. And when it locks up, you can pull it out and twist it again so to reposition the piece. So in my case, the weight in my setup before were in the stands. We're packing the big stands because the bases have to be heavy. Now the stands now are mounted to this bar, so that saves me packing the weight. The stands are actually, the receivers are right here, and they are screwless. You know, I don't have to fool around with screws or wing nuts or anything like that. It's just simply angle. It drops in, right? So I have actually fooled with the setting I had here. So you can see I can adjust it. I'm not even looking at it. You can just feel what you're doing. You can get a pretty good position. So there's the music stand. Further on in to the setup, this is my latest pedal board. So being a guitar player, normally people switch their effects with their feet. Being a paraplegic with complete motor loss, I cannot do so with my feet, so I use my hands. I tend to like these Boss pedals much better because you can smack them like this and they just go on. You know, you can hit them. These are, you know, they're little edges on them. I'm learning to do it. I'm not so facile at this point, but here it is. The pedal board is powered by 9-volt lithium-ion, which goes here. This is the lithium-ion part right here. It runs all day, and it can power a number of things. I've ran the cabling on the back side just to keep it a little bit out of the way and make it a little bit neater. This will all change, though. It's always in progress. The latest thing here, that's where I will hang my reacher on that little thing. Just a little piece of hardware for a lock. So this fastens to here. You can do it without, you know, taking everything apart. You can slip it on, but it's hard to get it just right. I just take it off. It just seems to work a lot better this way. And it just pops back in. Now you'll see the beauty of this and the strength of this system. For me, everything is visible and everything can be accessed and used. It's a huge advantage, I think, for regular guitar players. You have to bend down, squint, and don't get a chance to get intimate with their equipment, find out what works with what. I'm going to really get a lot more longevity and joy into my equipment this way. So it is, I'm just starting to experience it for what it is. Last but not least, for me, my music book. So here's one switch I do. Try to keep everything close and within reach. The reach is right there now. So the next thing is the guitar, which so it's just a bungee. The bungee doesn't do anything but keep it up. I just had this added on by the guys at Dunbar Lumber Express. Just popped this on for me. And just unhook it. So you can see that lock, that lasso lock, how it stays on. I can just take it off with one hand, I can rotate it, and I can stand it up. And then, ooh, don't get that combination on camera. It'll be on the internet. Everybody will know. Let's just take the lock off. I mean, I wouldn't do this at this point. I'm just sort of showing you. I would do this last. You know, like to be really clear about about the safety of my equipment, I would leave the lock on right to the very end. And then here's the music stand conversion that we did with Dave Joseph's stuff. I wasn't sure if I was going to like it at first because it's just different than a regular mic stand, but it's turned out to be great because I can adjust it like this. I can just pull it, you see, and it moves inside, it slides, which is really nice for just quick little adjustment. I just got to use grip. I don't have to lean forward.
Can you do it again?
Yeah. So simply I just pull it along here and it slides at the base right here. It just slides along here. It's just great. I mean, you don't have to do anything. Like I can stay upright. For me, leaning. As soon as I lean, my balance starts to become compromised, and then I have to lean on a hand, right? And then do things with one hand, or lean forward. And this is not too bad. I mean, I can raise it right on my stomach, but I mean, a paraplegic could be like I'm T10, right? But a person who is T5 would be really floppy. And some of these things that look like they're simple could be difficult, and this would be great, particularly great for a person at that level. So I also got an iClip, which is just part of a component system for clipping your phone and I'll put my backing tracks here on this clip, and the backing tracks run into the amplifier. It's just a phone goes in there. Yeah, but I guess gotta say, like, how much of a joy it is to use this equipment and this setup. It really helps the process of playing and making the most important thing, which is making music and doing my job, which is entertaining people and being efficient at doing so. Or if I can show up at a market in my power chair, for example, and disassemble everything and set it up in under like 8 minutes kind of thing, like 8 to 10 minutes, and I'm done. It's great. It's quick, and it's just a real joy to use. I love it. At the end of the day, to take it all apart, it's really simple. I just pop out 1, 2, 3 and drop them in a bucket at the door, and it's done. And then just pop off the front rack. I leave the back rack on, and leave the guitar on there because I charge the chair each night. I don't have to take the guitar off. So I just really love it. I'd like to conclude by thanking the people that have been involved in helping me out with the project. I've done very little of the work on my own. It's been the assistance of others. Neil Squire Society for funding the work for Ed Bell's system at the bottom. Dave Joseph and Doug Gayton for linking me to Dave Joseph at CS Mounting Systems. Dave's mounting systems have been just a real joy to use. And also like the Tetra Woodwork Shop, who helped me round the corners and do little things here and there on the various woodwork projects. And probably lots of other people when I think about it, and my own determination. And now we're going to show you another clip of me demonstrating and using this setup.
Sitting in the morning sun, sitting when the evening comes, watching the ships roll in, watching roll away again, sitting on the dock of the